Listen carefully, because what I'm about to tell you will flip everything you thought you knew about attraction upside down. Younger women don't crave what men have been conditioned to believe. It's not the flashy car, it's not the six-pack abs, it's not even the fat bank account. Those things might grab attention for a fleeting second, but they don't hold it. What truly grips a younger woman's heart, what makes her restless when you're silent, what makes her check her phone wondering why you haven't replied, is something most men never master in their entire lives. And that's why so many keep losing women they thought were theirs. This video is not about tricks, not about pickup lines, not about fake confidence. I'm about to expose the exact qualities younger women are secretly craving in older men. The ones they'll never admit out loud, the ones that make them stay awake at night thinking about you, the ones that make them addicted to your presence without you even trying. If you've ever wondered why some older men effortlessly attract younger women while others get dismissed without a second thought, stay right here, because I'm about to break it down with a level of raw truth you won't hear anywhere else. By the end of this video, you won't just understand what younger women secretly desire. You'll see exactly how to embody it in a way that transforms your relationships, your confidence, and your life. Don't blink, don't skip, because the moment you miss might be the exact key you've been searching for all these years. This is the truth nobody dares to tell you. You see, for too long men have been deceived into believing that younger women only look at money, status, or a certain image. The world sells you this fantasy that if you just build wealth, if you drive the right car, if you wear the right suit, suddenly women will fall into your arms. But let me tell you something that will shock you. Those things are surface level. They may catch attention for a moment, but they do not hold it, because what younger women truly crave in older men is something that no money can buy and no gym can build. It's emotional mastery. Think about it. In a world where everyone is addicted to instant gratification, where men are constantly reacting to every message, every like, every little shift in her behavior, emotional mastery stands out like fire in the dark. Most men panic when a woman pulls back. They chase, they beg, they collapse into insecurity. And you know what that communicates? Weakness. But when an older man has been through storms, when he has faced betrayal, failure, heartbreak, and still walks with calm certainty, his presence feels different. That calmness is magnetic because it is so rare. Younger women see that, and they feel something they don't feel with men their own age: safety. Emotional mastery doesn't mean being cold or robotic. It means knowing how to feel deeply without losing control. It means anger doesn't control you, jealousy doesn't eat you, fear doesn't paralyze you. You can stand in the middle of emotional chaos and still respond with clarity, with intention, with dignity. That level of control is what women secretly crave, because younger men often lack it. They're too caught up in proving themselves, too desperate to be chosen, too fragile when challenged. An older man who has mastered his emotions doesn't have to prove anything. He doesn't seek validation, he is validation. And here's where it gets even deeper. Emotional mastery is not just about controlling yourself, it's about leading the energy in the relationship. When a woman feels anxious, you don't mirror her anxiety, you ground her. When she tests your boundaries, you don't explode or retreat, you hold your frame. When she withdraws affection, you don't fall apart, you remain steady. This steadiness communicates something louder than words: I am in control of myself, and therefore I can be trusted with you. That trust is what makes her drawn to you, obsessed with you, unable to forget you. Many men think attraction is built through what you give a woman materially. But the truth is, attraction is built through what you withhold emotionally. Your refusal to give her the power to unbalance you. That refusal drives her insane with desire. Because women, especially younger women, are constantly surrounded by men who fold at the slightest pressure. They can manipulate those men with silence, with a look, with a few harsh words. But when they come across a man they cannot shake, a man who remains grounded, suddenly the game is over. She is the one who becomes shaken. She is the one who starts questioning herself. She is the one who starts chasing. And make no mistake, emotional mastery is not something you fake. Women can sense pretense. They know when you're pretending to be calm, but you're trembling inside. True mastery comes from living, from failing, from learning. It comes from disciplining yourself, from being willing to face discomfort, from detaching your worth from anyone else's approval. That is why it is so powerful, because it cannot be handed to you, it has to be earned. So when I say younger women secretly crave emotional mastery in older men, I mean they crave the man who has done the work on himself, the man who doesn't need to shout to be respected, the man who doesn't chase validation in her mood swings, the man who doesn't collapse into chaos when things don't go his way. He is calm, he is stable, he is powerful. And in a world where everyone is emotionally unstable, he becomes irresistible. This is the secret no one tells you. It's not the money, it's not the status, it's not even the looks. Those things may open the door, but emotional mastery is what makes her want to stay. It's the quiet dominance that makes her lean in closer instead of pulling away. It's the invisible quality that younger women are drawn to but rarely articulate, because it's not something you can see. It's something you feel. And once you understand this, everything changes. Because now you stop chasing external validation and start building internal strength. You stop asking, what do women want? And you start becoming the kind of man women cannot resist. Because in the end, emotional mastery is the ultimate currency of attraction. And here's the truth you need to take with you right now. A man who owns his emotions owns his relationships. And a man who owns his relationships owns his life. Most men fail not because they don't have potential, but because they don't understand presence. They think attraction is about constant action, buying gifts, sending messages, proving love every second of the day. They confuse movement with power. But here's the reality that shocks them when they finally see it. Women aren't testing what you do. They're testing who you are when nothing is happening. Younger women especially are surrounded by boys who panic the moment they sense distance. If she takes longer to reply, they spam her phone. If she goes quiet, they assume she's lost interest and start begging for reassurance. This is panic, and panic kills desire. Presence, on the other hand, is silent strength. It's the energy of a man who can sit in silence without needing to fill the void, who can endure uncertainty without crumbling, who can allow space without chasing. Younger women crave this because it's rare. Imagine her world. She is surrounded by men whose sense of self depends entirely on her reactions. She sees them unravel when she withholds affection. She sees them collapse into jealousy when she talks to someone else. She sees them lose their composure when she challenges them. And then she meets a man who doesn't flinch, who doesn't lose himself in her moods, who remains grounded and unshaken. That man immediately stands apart because his presence communicates one thing. He is in control, not her emotions, not the circumstances, not the chaos. This is why presence is so powerful. It flips the dynamic. Instead of you reacting to her, she begins reacting to you. Instead of you seeking her validation, she starts seeking yours. And the most fascinating part, you don't have to say a word. Your energy, your composure, your refusal to panic, it speaks louder than any line you could ever deliver. Presence doesn't beg. It doesn't explain. It doesn't chase. Presence simply exists, and in that existence, it commands respect. Now let's go even deeper. Why does panic repel women so strongly? Because panic signals insecurity, and insecurity is the opposite of safety. Younger women may be playful, adventurous, even reckless, but at their core, they want to feel secure in the presence of a man. Not secure financially. That's the surface narrative people keep repeating. What they're really after is emotional security. They want to know that no matter what storm they bring, you won't be swept away by it. Panic tells her you're fragile, and if you're fragile, she cannot lean on you. Presence tells her you're solid, and if you're solid, she can surrender to you fully. That's the unspoken desire. You must understand that every test, every withdrawal, every silence, every argument, these are not random. They are her way of measuring your presence. She's not always doing it consciously, but instinctively, she wants to see if you are who you appear to be. And here's where men failed. They confuse a test with rejection. They start fighting to win her back instead of proving they can remain steady. And in that moment of panic, they prove her right. He's not as strong as he looked. He folds too easily. But when you pass the test, when you remain calm, when you hold your frame, when you don't crumble into neediness, something shifts inside her. Suddenly, she respects you. Suddenly, she feels safe with you. Suddenly, her attraction multiplies because you've shown her what very few men can show. Control under pressure. That's presence. Think of presence like gravity. You don't see it, but you feel it. You don't question if it's there, you just know it's unshakable. And women crave that in men, especially younger women who are surrounded by instability. She doesn't need another boy who mirrors her chaos. She needs the man who absorbs it and transforms it into calm. That's why your silence, your steadiness, your refusal to panic is not weakness. It's dominance. It's the dominance that makes her chase you, that makes her curious about you, that makes her unable to walk away from you. And let's be clear, presence is not arrogance. Presence is not pretending you don't care. Presence is not emotional coldness. True presence is awareness. It's the ability to fully see her without being consumed by her. It's the ability to feel deeply without losing yourself. It's the balance between strength and softness, between attention and independence. That is the kind of presence that women never forget. So when I say younger women secretly crave presence over panic, understand this. They crave the man who doesn't lose himself when faced with uncertainty. They crave the man who can hold silence without fear. They crave the man who remains unshaken in the storm, because in his presence, they finally feel safe enough to surrender, and that safety is what ignites their deepest desire. Remember this always: panic makes her question you, presence makes her trust you, and a woman who trusts you will follow you anywhere. Neediness is the silent killer of attraction, and yet it's the mistake most men make without even realizing it. They believe love is about proving devotion, about showing her that she is the center of their world, about bending over backward to keep her happy. But younger women don't crave that. What they actually crave is the opposite: a man who doesn't need them but chooses them. That distinction changes everything. When a man is needy, every action he takes is rooted in fear: fear of losing her, fear of not being enough, fear of being abandoned. And women, especially younger women, can sense that fear instantly. They might not always articulate it, but they feel it. A needy man gives off an energy that says, "Without you, I am nothing." At first, this might feed her ego, but soon it suffocates her, because no woman wants to carry the weight of being someone's entire identity. It doesn't inspire her respect, it drains her. Now, let's look at the man who chooses instead of needs. This man has a full life before she even enters it. He has purpose, ambition, hobbies, friendships, discipline, and structure. His identity is not wrapped up in her moods or her presence. He doesn't see her as the source of his worth. He sees her as the addition to his already complete life. That choice is what makes him irresistible. Because when a woman feels that you don't need her, but you want her, she experiences something rare. True desire rather than dependency. Younger women especially feel the difference because they are surrounded by men who are desperate for validation. Men who flood them with messages, men who compete for their attention, men who crumble at the thought of losing them. It becomes exhausting. And then she meets a man who doesn't chase, who doesn't beg, who doesn't fall apart in her absence. A man who can take her or leave her. That man radiates power because his value is not defined by whether she stays or goes. His value is internal. His life is already meaningful. That is the kind of man she craves, because with him she feels chosen, not trapped. Understand this. Neediness pushes her away, but choice pulls her closer, because choice means he has options. Choice means he could be with anyone, but he wants her. And that want, when it comes from a man who is complete within himself, feels like the highest form of validation. It says, I don't need you to survive, but I choose you because you add to my life. That statement, even when unspoken, is the essence of masculine power. But here's the painful truth most men avoid. If you have no life outside of her, if you have no mission, no purpose, no structure, then you don't have the capacity to choose. You only have the capacity to cling. And clinging is unattractive. That is why so many men lose the women they thought they secured. They gave her everything except the one thing she was actually craving. The feeling of being desired by a man who could walk away at any moment, but doesn't. Choice is attractive because it carries freedom. A man who chooses is free. Free to love without fear. Free to walk away if his boundaries are disrespected. Free to give not out of desperation, but out of abundance. That freedom creates an energy that women find irresistible because it makes them feel that they are experiencing something rare. Being loved by a man who doesn't need to love them, but wants to. And let's be clear, choice is not about playing games, withholding affection, or pretending you don't care. It's about genuinely building a life so full and meaningful that no single person defines it. It's about reaching a point where your self-worth is so stable that you can engage in love from a place of strength, not weakness. That is why younger women secretly crave it. Because in that kind of love, she feels desired, not used. She feels chosen, not needed. And when a woman feels chosen by a man who doesn't depend on her, she will fight harder to stay in his life than she ever would for the man who can't live without her. So the truth is simple. If you want to be irresistible to younger women, stop centering your life around them. Stop believing your worth is tied to their approval. Build yourself. Build your mission. Build a life so strong that when you offer her a place in it, she knows it's because you want her there, not because you need her to complete you. That's the energy that draws her closer instead of pushing her away. Remember this. A man who needs her will always lose her, but a man who chooses her will always have her chasing him.